that Meghan is deliberately pushing Harry down, that she's kind of competing with her own husband.
To actually prove that everything she had told Oprah Winfrey, everything that she had told Netflix, everything that Harry wrote in Spare were just big, fat lies.
When they're cashing in on their increasingly slim royal connection and selling Harry's family down the river.
Seized the opportunity, right? She announced it big before they'd even agreed everything, that she was an executive producer.
So electric is the connection between Harry and Meghan, if you get my drift.
The most explosive question is not whether Prince Harry lost his family after marrying Meghan Markle. The darker question is whether he was slowly positioned to lose them from the beginning. Because according to this story, the truth about why Meghan really entered the royal family has finally broken open. And what it suggests about the last 10 years is far worse than a love story gone wrong. It points to timing, silence, image control, and a royal household that allegedly saw warning signs before the public ever understood what they were watching. And once those clues are lined up, the engagement, the wedding, the interviews, the photos, even the people who were missing, stop looking random. That engagement interview never disappeared. It sat in the public memory like unfinished evidence. Meghan looked calm beside Harry, polished, prepared, almost too ready. Every answer came smoothly. She spoke warmly about the royal family, how welcomed she felt, how grateful she was to enter this new world. But when the conversation moved toward her own family, the atmosphere changed. Thomas Markle, the father who raised her alone, paid for her education, drove her to auditions, and waited while she chased acting dreams, vanished from the narrative. Not one proper mention, not one emotional acknowledgement. And when a father disappears from a daughter's biggest public moment, the silence becomes its own confession. Then, Harry said the line that made millions pause. He told the world Meghan would do anything he asked. He meant it as romance, as proof of devotion, as evidence that he had finally found someone completely on his side. But women watching at home heard something colder. Someone who will do anything is not always in love. Sometimes they are performing a role. Sometimes they are studying the person in front of them and becoming exactly what that person needs to see. That was the first crack in the fairy tale, and the audience felt it instantly, even before they had words for the danger. Then came the photographs. While Harry publicly begged the press to leave his girlfriend alone, Meghan appeared again and again in paparazzi images that did not look panicked, chaotic, or hunted. They looked controlled, relaxed, almost arranged. Each stroll seemed to say something different. She was casual, charming, relatable, royal adjacent, but still independent. Then came Vanity Fair, and the contradiction sharpened. Harry demanded privacy, while Meghan appeared on one of the most recognizable magazine platforms in the world, styled and presented like someone who already knew the destination. People were told they were jealous, bitter, racist, imagining things. But later, those early instincts started looking less like suspicion and more like recognition. Behind palace walls, the pressure was allegedly already rising. One wedding image stayed with people more than the dress, carriage, flowers, or chapel grandeur, Queen Elizabeth's face. It did not look like simple happiness. It looked heavy, guarded, almost burdened. And, according to the script, before the wedding, the Queen personally picked up the phone and called Harry herself. Not through palace aides, not through private secretaries. Directly, she allegedly told him what she was witnessing could not continue and had to stop before the vows were exchanged. For a monarch who spent 70 years trusting structure, protocol, and distance, that direct call was not ordinary concern. It was alarm. That is where the royal power struggle changed shape. Meghan appeared to be gaining access. Harry was gaining emotional certainty. But the Queen was watching control slip from the institution she had protected her entire life. Staff members with decades of experience were reportedly facing behavior they could not explain even to their own families. People who had never complained began walking away. Every concern raised inside the royal household allegedly flipped back on the person who raised it. The complaint became proof Meghan was being mistreated. The witness became the villain. The pattern became too consistent to ignore, and that consistency is what made the palace so tense. Prince Philip, according to this version, saw the danger early. He had spent a lifetime reading powerful rooms and ambitious people wearing warmth like a costume. But the tragedy is that Queen Elizabeth spent her final years watching the monarchy damaged from inside, not by a foreign rival or political enemy, but by her own grandson and the woman welcomed into the family. Harry chose Meghan over the grandmother who loved him unconditionally. And once that choice hardened, every consequence began moving toward the same destination. The family was losing him. Meghan was gaining influence. The institution was being challenged. And the public still had no idea how much had already happened. Then comes one of the most disturbing details. Harry and Meghan announced their engagement, filmed the interview, posed for official photos, released the statements, and yet, Harry had never met Thomas Markle. Not once. Not through a meaningful call. Not through a real introduction. No suit was fitted, no travel secured, no hotel arranged. Meanwhile, Doria was carefully welcomed, positioned, and protected. Thomas knew the original Meghan before the polished royal narrative, before the reinvention, before the story of effortless grace and struggle was complete. And in that version of events, Thomas was not forgotten. He was kept away. The wedding guest list followed the same hidden logic. Suits co-stars appeared at the ceremony, filled the photographs, and created the image of a woman surrounded by friendships and history. But those same people were reportedly absent from the evening reception, where conversations loosen, memories surface, and accidental truths slip out. Her first husband's family would not speak her name. Harry's old world was narrowing. Meghan's chosen version was expanding. And just before the ring became permanent, the people who knew too much were left outside the room. What exactly was Harry never supposed to hear? What happened next no longer looked like palace politics. It started looking like something far more personal. The story argues that people who genuinely love you want your world to become bigger, not smaller. They encourage friendships, strengthen family bonds, and celebrate the relationships that existed long before they arrived. But according to this account, Harry's life began moving in the opposite direction. Familiar faces slowly disappeared. Trusted voices became distant. Every important relationship allegedly weakened until one person stood at the center of everything. That pattern, the script claims, is why so many viewers stopped seeing this as simply another royal disagreement and started recognizing something they had experienced in their own lives. The comments beneath nearly every discussion of Harry and Meghan reportedly reveal the same recurring theme. People describe recognizing a cycle they had once lived through themselves. It begins with extraordinary intensity. Someone arrives who seems to understand every insecurity, every frustration, every private thought better than anyone else ever has. They validate everything. They become the safest place in your life almost overnight. That overwhelming connection feels unique. But according to many watching this story unfold, it is often only the first stage of something much larger. Looking backward, they believe Harry followed that exact path while believing he was simply finding happiness. Harry was uniquely vulnerable long before Meghan entered his life. Since the age of 12, he had carried the grief of walking behind Princess Diana's coffin while the world watched. He often struggled to define himself outside royal titles, ceremonial duties, and institutional expectations. He searched constantly for purpose beyond the monarchy. According to this narrative, those emotional circumstances made him exactly the person someone seeking complete influence would naturally focus on. He was not chosen because he was weak. He was chosen because his emotional wounds had never completely healed, leaving him open to someone promising total understanding. Then, according to the pattern described throughout the script, the separation begins almost invisibly. No dramatic confrontation, no sudden demand. Instead, small comments arrive with perfect timing. Was Prince William really supportive? Did Catherine truly mean what she said? Did that conversation sound colder than everyone pretended? Every observation appears caring rather than controlling. Every question sounds protective instead of divisive. Piece by piece, Harry allegedly began seeing lifelong relationships through a completely different lens. From the outside, it looked like his own decision. According to this version of events, the distance was quietly built one conversation at a time. Eventually, the situation allegedly reached the point where returning became almost impossible. Every public accusation widened the divide. Oprah transformed private family conflict into worldwide television. Netflix turned royal disagreements into an international documentary. Spare revealed intensely personal details about Prince William and the rest of the royal family that many believed no devoted brother would ever willingly publish. Harry likely believed he was defending himself. The script argues someone else may have understood those appearances served another purpose entirely. Each interview, each episode. Each chapter allegedly increased commercial value while simultaneously destroying the possibility of genuine reconciliation. One observation repeated throughout the material reviewed for this story became impossible to ignore. A highly supported comment suggested every bully depends upon loyal supporters who defend them against anyone asking difficult questions. Those supporters are not necessarily cruel people. They simply feel chosen, valued, and emotionally invested in protecting someone they believe understands them completely. According to that interpretation, Harry became not simply Meghan's husband, but her strongest public defender, willing to challenge lifelong relationships because he believed he was protecting the person who had rescued him emotionally. If true, that would make him less the architect of the conflict than its most visible participant. 3 defining moments then allegedly removed any remaining uncertainty about what this marriage ultimately produced. First came the Oprah interview. The script argues it was not two wounded people speaking spontaneously, but a carefully planned, produced, timed, and approved media event. Even more controversially, it aired while Prince Philip, aged 99, remained hospitalized fighting for his life. Harry discussed failures within his family from California while his grandfather lay connected to medical equipment. Philip died only weeks later. According to this account, no public apology was ever offered regarding that timing, making the interview itself another lasting point of controversy. The second escalation arrived through Netflix, followed by Spotify and finally Spare. Each project allegedly targeted the monarchy with increasing precision while generating worldwide attention. Then came the financial comparison that critics repeatedly highlighted. According to the script, the only commercially successful content Harry and Meghan consistently produced centered on criticism of the royal family. Cookie Queens reportedly suffered a humiliating box office defeat against a 70-minute compilation of internet cat videos shown in 191 fewer venues. At the same time, their lifestyle brand reportedly struggled. Parcast projects ended, and independent ventures allegedly failed to match expectations. The conclusion drawn inside the story is blunt. Separating from the monarchy proved difficult financially, while attacking it repeatedly generated headlines and revenue. While Hollywood seemed increasingly distant, Harry himself appeared different. Recent photographs reportedly showed a man carrying visible emotional weight. At a New York appearance where Meghan was reportedly not expected to join him on stage, sources claimed Harry accepted the decision without argument. Simultaneously, Invictus faced growing financial scrutiny as veterans questioned spending and costs compared with similar American veteran programs. The institution Harry once proudly championed was now confronting difficult questions alongside him. And that leaves one final mystery still hanging over everything. Is Harry finally beginning to recognize the path that brought him here, or is the biggest revelation still waiting to emerge?